Welcome to the Bakersfield City Council meeting. This television broadcast is brought to you by the local cable companies, the County of Kern, and the City of Bakersfield. You can watch the rebroadcast of this meeting Saturday at 7 p.m., Sunday at 10 a.m., and the following Wednesday at 7 p.m. You can download the agenda for this meeting at www.bakersfieldcity.us. Presiding over this evening's meeting, the Honorable Mayor Karen K. Go.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to call to order the 5:15 regular City Council meeting of January 5th, 2022. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mayor Go.
Here.
Okay. Vice Mayor Weir.
Here.
Councilmember Arias.
Here.
Councilmember Gonzalez. Councilmember Smith.
I am here.
Councilmember Freeman. Councilmember Gray.
Here.
And Councilmember Parlier.
Here.
Thank you. And at this time, would you all rise for the invocation? I'll offer that. And then following the invocation, Councilmember Arias will lead us in the pledge. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this new year. We look back and we just say thank you for all your many blessings. Thank you for being God of this city, God of our lives, and for your provisions, for your protection. As we go into 2022, we go into it with a sense of anticipation. And with the year ahead, we go into it courageously, and we reflect back on your words to Joshua. Have I not commanded you to be strong and of good courage? Be not dismayed, neither be afraid, for I am the Lord thy God, and I go with you wherever you go. And so as we look at the year ahead with the challenges of health, with the challenges of crime, with the challenges of homelessness, we say we're not going to be afraid. We ask you to give us your divine solutions for these challenges that we're not able to solve on our own. Would you give us that wisdom? Would you give us the strategies that only heaven can give? Would you cause us to be united, working together for the good of the people of this city? We're so grateful for your grace and mercy in our lives, and we just declare this in your precious name. Amen.
Salute. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, Happy New Year. It's good to see all of you. Here are a few guidelines to help our meeting run smoothly. We request that you turn off your phones. Please be courteous in the use of cameras and videos. For safety reasons and as a courtesy to others, no signs are allowed in the council chambers or in the lobby. Applause is allowed during the presentations portion of the meeting, but not during other portions of the meeting. Everyone in attendance is expected to adhere to the rules of decorum established by resolution of the City Council. Failure to abide by the city's rules of decorum, including any disruptive behavior that interferes with our ability to have an orderly and efficient meeting, prevents the City Council from conducting the business of the city. Please consider this a first warning to everyone in attendance that conduct that disrupts this meeting may result in expulsion and/or the chambers being cleared. With the new year, we have some changes to the public statements portion of the agenda. I'll walk us through that process. At the November 17, 2021 council meeting, the council adopted a resolution modifying the public statements portion of the agenda. That resolution separates public statements into two periods. There's a period for items listed on the agenda, and then there's a period for items not listed on the meeting agenda. Statements for items listed on tonight's agenda are given a 2-minute time limit, 20 minutes total per agenda item. The consent calendar as a whole constitutes one agenda item. Statements regarding items not listed on the agenda are given a 2-minute time limit, 20 minutes total. If you have written comments that are longer than your verbal statement, please give those to the clerk, who will give copies to the council. If you're here to make a public statement, please fill out a public speaker card if you haven't already done so. We ask that you mark whether you're here to speak on an item listed on tonight's agenda or a matter not on the agenda. Speakers who do not identify the agenda item on which they wish to speak will be presumed to be speakers for the non-agenda portion of the meeting. Those speakers will be called during the non-agenda portion of the meeting. Please give your completed card to the city clerk. This is a new process for all of us. We're going to help each other and work through it together. We might have a few bumps here and there, but we'll work through it together. If you're here on public hearing item 9A, now is not the time to speak. You'll be given an opportunity to speak when that item is later called in the meeting. We're very interested and concerned with your issues. However, due to the public notice requirements of the Brown Act, Council can't take action when an item isn't on the agenda. The Council can, however, refer your matter to committee or request that staff contact you. Again, please avoid any behavior that disrupts the meeting. Behavior that disrupts the meeting includes repetitive statements, going off topic, shouting, outbursts from the audience, surpassing the 2-minute time limit. Madam Clerk, do we have any public speakers regarding items listed on tonight's agenda?
Mayor Go, no speaker cards have been received for items on the agenda tonight.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, do we have any public speakers regarding items not listed on the agenda?
Mayor Go, we've received 2 speaker cards.
Thank you. Go ahead and call them.
First public speaker is O.C. Crawford.
Good evening, Mr. Crawford. Welcome. Please introduce yourself.
Good evening, Mayor and all. I believe this will last about 2 minutes. It's entitled
Mr. Crawford, pull the mic a little closer, please.
Constitution and Public Officials. Anyone who still believes in this pandemic is about health is either naive or complicit or maybe both. Being a public official means that you are responsible for the safety and well-being of the people in your city and county. Have any of you thought of having unbiased, independent medical doctors and scientists who have absolutely no connection to Big Pharma examine what's in these jabs? Is it wise to blindly trust the CDC, the WHO, the FDA, etc.? Are they God? Should they have absolute control of what goes on or into our own bodies? The people pushing the jab will tell us what's in it, but only after 75 years. Why? It's interesting that it's been a little over 75 years since we learned about the Holocaust. The Jewish people and others blindly believed the government officials and willingly boarded the trains to hell. At the Nuremberg trials, the Nazi soldiers claimed they were innocent because they were merely following orders. Nevertheless, they were found guilty and executed. All elected officials, sheriffs, police officers swear an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution. It is your duty to not carry out unconstitutional mandates and policies issued by corrupt, unconstitutional politicians. I don't want to see any of you go to jail or be executed because you are merely following unconstitutional orders that cause people to die. Who knows what lawsuits will be filed in the near future? I propose that all cities in Kern County and the County of Kern become constitutional cities and a constitutional county. I'm putting this out there, and I think that would be a very good thing for our cities and for our county to live by and govern by the Constitution. I feel this way we are protected now and in the future from any possible lawsuits or going in the wrong direction. We were founded on principles of life, love, and liberty, and I pray that we can continue going in that direction and uphold the Constitution of this beautiful USA. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Crawford. Next speaker, please.
Wendell Wesley.
Welcome.
Mayor
Please
Goh.
introduce yourself.
Hi, Wendell Wesley Jr., Mayor Go, fellow councilman. I'm here to speak about a survey that I received through my email. Of course, I am registered with the city, so that's why I received the email. It had to do with a housing survey, and I felt the survey was put together very well. I liked the videos. I actually allowed my wife to also go back into it and fill it out. But, you know, the deadline is coming up, and it's right around the corner on the 14th of January. And I thought, you know, surveys that concern housing concerns all citizens, and that it would probably be in all of our best interests if we could extend that timeline and get the survey out to more residents, whichever way is best for us all. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, anything further?
I've received no additional public speaker cards.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Consent calendar items 7A through 7M for approval.
Thank you. Vice Mayor?
Thank you, Mayor. I have not received any items that should be removed from the consent calendar, so I make a motion for items 7A through 7M to be approved.
Thank you. You have a motion. Please cast your votes.
Motion is unanimously approved.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Public hearing item 9A, public hearing to consider Arvin Edison planned major thoroughfare area. Resolution adopting the Arvin Edison Canal crossing planned major thoroughfare area, making findings thereto. And item 2, adoption of an ordinance amending subsection F1 of section 16.32.060 of the Bakersfield Municipal Code relating to bridge crossings and major thoroughfares.
Thank you. For public hearing items, each side will be allowed 15 minutes. It's 15 minutes for all speakers per side, so it's important that you identify yourself and make your statement succinctly so others may speak. We'll hear statements first from those opposed to the staff's recommendation. Then we'll hear from those who would like to speak in favor of staff's recommendation. If there's testimony on both sides, each side will be allowed a 5-minute rebuttal. There's a clock on the TV screens behind me which indicates 15 minutes. Please step to the microphone, identify yourself. After 14 minutes, a yellow light will come on. At the end of 15 minutes, a red light will flash, indicating your time is up, and quickly end your statement. You may ask questions during your statement, but they won't be addressed until the public hearing is closed. If you have written comments that are longer than your verbal statement, give them to the clerk and she'll provide copies to the council. Please be courteous to others who wish to speak. Assistant City Manager. Well, at this point, let's see. I don't remember your title. Assistant to the City Manager, Anthony Valdez.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, council members. Our Public Works Director will be giving a short presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Go. Members of the City Council, Stuart Pattison, Acting Public Works Director. This is the second reading for this ordinance item. Madison Street is a designated major collector road. Currently, it does not cross the Arvin Edison Canal. And as the area around the canal develops, a bridge on Madison Street crossing over the Arvin Edison Canal would provide a much needed connection for north-south travel and traffic. 4 separate tentative track maps in this area have been conditioned as part of the approval process to pay their proportionate share of the cost of a bridge crossing over the Arvin Edison Canal. As mentioned by the clerk, Chapter 16.32.060F of Title 16 of the Bakersfield Municipal Code and Section 66484 of the California Government Code, also known more commonly as the Subdivision Map Act, provides for a procedure by which the City Council may assess and collect fees for the purposes of defraying the cost of constructing bridge overcrossings or major thoroughfares identified in the transportation circulation element of the Metro Bakersfield General Plan. Notification regarding this hearing of the proposed Arvin Edison Bridge District was sent to all affected property owners within the district boundary. To date, no protest or objection has been received. There are actually two items before you. The resolution before you will adopt the Arvin Edison Canal Crossing Planned Major Thoroughfare Area and approves the boundaries of the area, the cost of the improvements, and the assessment fee schedule. The ordinance adds the Arvin Edison Canal Crossing Planned Major Thoroughfare District to the list of bridge crossings and major thoroughfares for which subdividers or developers pay fees at the time of development to pay for the cost of constructing the planned bridge facilities. Staff is requesting council adopt the resolution to form the district and to approve the ordinance revision to add this district to the list of districts. That is my presentation, and I'm available for any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Patterson. At this time, I will open the public hearing. Is there anyone who wishes to speak in opposition to staff's recommendation? If so, please step to the microphone, identify yourself, and proceed. Seeing none, now, is there anyone who wishes to speak in support of staff's recommendation? If so, please step to the mic, identify yourself, and proceed. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing and return it to council for comment and action. Councilmember Arias, this is in your ward.
Thank you, Mayor. Just one quick question for you, Stu. So I'm looking at the map boundaries. Is this going to affect the incoming schools through Greenfield, either the middle school or the elementary at all?
It is not. They're not within the boundary of the district.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear. Okay, with that, I move staff's recommendation.
You have a motion. Please cast your votes.
Motion is unanimously approved.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next item, please.
Council and mayor statements.
Thank you. Council members, does anybody wish to speak? Councilmember Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. I just had a couple items. I would respond to the public comments on the survey and just ask staff, have we gotten very good response on the housing survey from the community yet?
Councilmember Smith, through the mayor, I have not reviewed the responses that we get, but I can get back to you about how many responses we received. Oh, sure.
Paul?
Actually, Paul Saldana, our
Great.
Economic and Community Development Director, can respond.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you. We have been getting some responses through that. We continue to push that out through both social media and through a network of different sources, but it's been sort of slow through the holidays, but it's starting to pick up a bit.
Great.
So.
Yeah, I've seen it in different newspapers and
Yes, and folks
social
have
media.
appreciated the multilingual approach that we've taken as well.
Okay.
So.
Thank you. The second item, Councilmember Parley made a referral regarding the city charter some time ago, and I just kind of wondering where staff is on that. I know, there are certain timelines if we want to get anything onto this year's election, and if we want to get some things on this year's election and other things on a later election. I just think the sooner that comes to council, so staff has council direction as to, what the timing that council prefers and whether or not we want to go forward sooner is better. So is there a timeline there?
Mayor, Councilmember Smith, I'm meeting with the city manager, I think either later this week or early next week, to kind of get him up to speed to what our office has done. We've also received somewhat of a focused calendar with regard to the election for the charter amendment from the city clerk recently. So I'm sure that Mr. Clegg, when he returns, can answer your question a little bit better. But I know our office is ready to go with the issue that the Department of Justice had requested.
Okay, great. So, yeah, my feeling is sooner there's a conversation
Correct.
with full council, the better. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Smith. Councilmember Parley.
Thank you, Mayor. There's been an increase in media coverage regarding homicides, quality of life crimes, arsons. And it's been a while before the police chief, fire chief has come before us and given us a public safety update. So I'd like them to come before us potentially in February, March at the latest. And Jenny, if you could reach out to the DA, to Cindy Zimmer, and see if she'd be gracious enough to come and just give her take on what's going on within our community and county also, that'd sure be appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Harley. Is there anybody else who wishes to speak? We had a very rare moment in having two local schools, two of our high schools, reach the California Interscholastic Federation State Football Championship level. I neglected to congratulate them at the end of the year, but they had to go through sectionals, regionals, and the state championships, total of 15 games. So I just want to do a shout out to the Liberty High Patriots and Independence High School Falcons. Congratulations, Patriots and Falcons. We're very, very proud of you. Thank you for all of your efforts. Congratulations to the coaches. And with no other requests to speak, we are adjourned at 5:36.